how Riot should fix Neeko. And they did. So it's not how Riot should, it's how Riot did. Neeko had a recent rework which allows her to turn into so many more things. They adjusted how her clone worked, pretty much exactly what I had asked for in the previous video, which allows the clone to mimic your controls. A big thing is the clone will start to back if you're backing, and I've seen that catch a lot of people off guard, and I've seen a lot of cool strategies utilizing that. And yeah, I think they did an amazing job actually with the Neeko rework. Here, hold on, let me see if I could. There we go. I feel like they absolutely killed it. The Neeko rework, I think, was a huge success. It was definitely a little overtuned and extremely difficult to deal with, and I nerfed it. I banned it every single game because those ganks were just impossible to play around. But that's not really the point. Balancing is not what we're here to discuss. Riot has done a pretty good job, I'd say, of balancing it, and I think they'll eventually get Neeko in a spot where it's much more manageable, and a huge thing that comes down to it is people just need to learn to play around it. Count your minions, you know? And yeah, I think it's definitely in a much better spot now than when it was first released, but I think overall it was a huge, amazing update for Neeko that she desperately needed. I think the champion is way more fun, way more playable now, so much more enjoyable. Whether you're actually trying hard at the game or just playing with some friends having a good time, like disguising yourself as a chicken and killing people in the jungle with it, or walking down the lane as a minion and catching people off guard. It's been extremely successful, and I think it was just perfectly done. So props to Riot for that. I think the Neeko rework was a great success, and I look forward to seeing more. With that, we'll move on to Rell, because Rell also got a rework, and she was one of the ones I just had talked about that needed some love. And I don't think it's as good as the Neeko rework. I think she's much better now than she was before. They try to like push her into like a jungle kind of angle, but I think the initial problem with Rell is still the biggest problem with Rell is she still feels slow and sluggish, and when you go in, you're all in. So she's just a huge risky champion to play. I think she's very good. I think she's very strong, and I think the changes definitely were benefits to her, but no real way of getting out once you're in, which is good to have. That is the counterplay to the champion. It's the risk to the high reward. You can make the insane plays where you kill the entire enemy team with a huge CC chain and stuns and armored shred and all that. You just have no way of getting out. I think that's a good thing to have, but it still definitely feels very sluggish to play, even though they added a lot of speed to her in a lot of the areas, which is what I was kind of looking for. Not necessarily rocket boots, which is what I would have liked, and some metal legs to start hauling ass out of there. It's definitely not that, but they did give her some more speed, and I don't think giving her an escape would make her too strong. Just way too overpowered. Like, her engage is already insanely strong, that giving her disengage would just completely just overtune the champion, and that's not what we want. And so overall, I am very happy with the Neeko rework. I'm very happy with the Rell rework. Shout outs to Riot Games for that. Congrats on some successful reworks. I don't really have any complaints about either of those champions. I feel like both of them were done some justice. Could probably do a little more touching on the Rell, but I feel like Neeko overall is in just like that's as good as I could possibly imagine that champion being in all categories. It's so much more fun to play.